guys, I hope you're all well. Today I am going to be answering your questions on travelling. We've been doing quite a lot of travelling recently. If you've been following me for a while on YouTube and Instagram and stuff, then you'll probably have noticed we've always gone on kind of 2-3 holidays a year, but this year it just so happens that I've had quite a few travel jobs and like different family trips and conferences and stuff planned. So yeah, it's been quite like away for 5 days, back for 2 days, away for 10 days, back for a week, away for 3 days. Like, it's been quite full on, but I absolutely love it. I just want to pack up and travel forever. I want to homeschool the boys and travel the world with them, but that's a long-term goal. That's for another video. But yeah, I feel like I've gained quite a lot of experience from long-haul flights, short-haul flights, different kinds of travel, ferry and train, and city breaks and all-inclusive resort beach holidays. I'm all about travel. So I put a shout out on my Instagram a couple of hours ago for any questions that you've got specifically for travel. I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't get any questions because I know travel is not for everyone, but I've got 14, I think. Okay, so let's get cracking. The first one is from elmomo89. I'm going on an 8-hour flight with my 2 boys who are 16 months and 3 years in a few months. What should I take to keep them occupied on the plane? Okay. The iPad. I just happen to have it next to me because I've been filming a video that featured it. I'm not an iPad mama. The boys don't use the iPad a lot. It is definitely more of a travel item. I'm just starting to use it at home for like educational purposes and for a bit of downtime as well. When you're traveling, when you're on a flight, whether it's a long flight or a short flight, if you are with grumpy, bored children that need entertaining and you're confined to your seats, then an iPad can do wonders. Download some movies before, some series as well. So Jasper's got like Paw Patrol on here and I think some Peppa Pig as well, which I want to try and delete. And also some games as well, if you don't want them just to be like mindlessly watching something, even though, to be fair, travelling is boring and I watch movies when I'm travelling, so why shouldn't kids be able to? Yeah, get some educational games as well, like some phonics learning and matching and puzzles and stuff like that. Other than that, it depends on the duration. I've gotten a lot more relaxed the more that we've travelled, so like the first time I would have had so much stuff, books and games and changes of clothes and snacks and stuff, but now I'm just like, we can buy food on the plane and the iPad is enough. So the one that's almost 3 made me the magnetic games. You could get like magnetic dominoes or magnetic like noughts and crosses. I've also got this magnetic book for like counting, so it's quite educational. You can get wipe clean books. Yeah, anything that's magnetic or wipe clean will be so much better than having like loads of colouring pencils and little bits and bobs that can be lost easily. Okay, how do you keep little ones entertained on the flight? So same again, just anything magnetic, anything wipe clean. iPad, stock it up. You can never have too much stuff on your iPad unless your memory starts to go. Good games with them as well, like I Spy, and you don't want to be too loud on the plane. Even though I always say, if you didn't want to be on a flight with kids, you should have got a private jet, because kids can be noisy, and if kids' ears hurt, the last thing you want to be worrying about is other people getting annoyed at their crying. Like, you just want to comfort them, so don't worry about other people, but at the same time you don't want them like going crazy on the flight. So yeah, things like I Spy is quite a good game. X-Laws X12, where's your favourite place you've been with your boys? Turks and Caicos. Definitely Turks and Caicos. I absolutely loved it there. It's in the Caribbean. It was just beautiful. We went with beaches. It was a collaboration, so I was there for like a press trip, but it's luxury. It's sandals, so you get that honeymoon luxury, but for children as well. Like, oh, I would go back there every year if I could afford it. Okay, Mama B, cheapest companies to fly with for kids. Flybe is really cheap. EasyJet's quite cheap. I always just go on Skyscanner, so I just put the dates in that I want to travel. If I can be flexible, I do the whole plus or -3, but that's what I do whenever I have to book flights. I go on Skyscanner, and then you can kind of change for different airports and different times, and you can get it to suit you. I try never to do like a rigid like booking where you can't choose your flights, because I like to make them flexible around the boys, like for nap times and stuff. So I personally would rather pay a little bit more to have a closer airport, or a little bit more to be around nap time, rather than like having to get my kids up at like 2 in the morning to drive to the airport and go through customs and being stressed. You might save 50 quid on having cheaper flights, but by the time you've driven like past 3 closer airports to get to a far away one and your children are knackered and it's nap time or the middle of the night, you would probably rather spend double that 50 quid on a spa day to get over the stress. Mama B again, best way to cope with heat for the little ones. So I try and keep them in the shade as much as possible. I keep hats on them if there is no shade in the pool. So regularly I try and get them to come and sit under the umbrella on the sun lounger and maybe play with their toys there, or just kind of have a lay down. Most places on holiday, if you're in like a resort, the parks will be quite shaded and the splash pool areas will have shaded bits, which is quite good. Maybe try and avoid the pool at like peak sunshine hours. So take the kids back in for a nap, or I don't know, take them in for lunch, or just go and play on the grass in the shade, and then come back out when it's cooled down a little bit. What else? Those little mini fans are really good. You can get the cooling spray water, and just dressing them lightly. So like Jensen, he has to sleep in a grow bag or he won't sleep. So I've got a really thin, I don't know what the tog is, but it's really thin for him to sleep in at night, and then we just keep the aircon on as well. And they get quite bad eczema in the heat, that's the only thing. So it's just regularly having to like cool them off, get the chlorine off them with normal water, and keep cream on them, and just having like thin layers. Okay, Phasey P. Where has been your least favourite place to go on holiday and why? Oh, I don't know, I've loved everywhere. Okay, so probably like when I was younger I did like COS with like a group of 10 friends, and it was good fun because I was like 17, 18 and we were drinking and going out every night, but there was a lot of like, you'd walk past a tree and there'd be like a condom or people having sex. I know you'd get that in any of those like Magaluf kind of places, but I just remember being like, this is not what I like. So probably that, but the island and the area itself was probably beautiful. I just didn't see that part. Okay, Phasey P also asked, where in the world would be your dream holiday? Oh, I don't know. I've got so many. I'd like to see a lot more of the Caribbean. I'd like to see Jamaica. I'd like to see Mauritius. I've seen the Maldives, which was amazing, so I feel like a lot of them would be quite similar, but I'd still like to see them all. Miami I'd love to go to, New York. Jensen's awake, bear with me. Say hi. This is the really thin grow bag. This is from the Grow Company, because it's quite a hot day today, even though it's raining. Yeah, I've got loads of destinations I want to go to. I want to go to South Africa and go on safari and go to like Giraffe Manor. Just everywhere. I want to go everywhere, and everywhere that I've been, I want to go again, because I just love travelling. I just love life. Also, Phasey P, what are your top 5 must-haves for the boys when travelling? Okay, iPad, number 1. Number 2 would be, oh, that's really tough. Number 2, camera, so I can capture all of the memories of them while we're travelling. Number 3, a toy car, because Jensen is obsessed with toy cars, so is Jasper, whether they're in the pool, at the park, on the plane. Number 4 would be some good waterproof shoes. So Jasper's got some really good ones from Next. They're called his Sharky shoes, and they're basically like croc material, but he'll wear them in the pool, at the park, to the beach, in the evening. He lives in them, so it means you can pack quite lightly. So yeah, waterproof shoes. And number 5 would be, what do you like to take on holiday? Oh, number 5 would be a combination of 3 products, because I can't choose between which one I love more, but basically a small children's suitcase. I've got the Trunky, which is a pull-along, ride-along mini kid suitcase that fits in the overhead. So your little one can sit on it, you can pull it along, they can keep all their belongings in it, and they come in really nice designs. I've also got the Jet Kids bed box, which is basically the exact same thing. The design isn't as fancy. They come with stickers that you can put on to decorate them, but it turns your seat into a bed. You lift up the lid, flip it over, take out this little mini mattress, and it just means that your child can lay down on the chair if it's a night flight, or if it's nap time, or if they just want to lay down and relax and keep their feet up. It also stops them from going underneath the chairs, which is what this one likes to do. The third one is a scooter suitcase. So it's a scooter and a suitcase in one, so they can scoot around on it, and then they quickly fold it up, and it's a suitcase. It's fantastic. Not good for this one, but it's good for Jasper. So those would be my 3, like I would always have one of those depending on where we're going and what kind of flight it is and airport and stuff. Okay, finally a family. I like that name. Do you manage to pack light? Have you any tips for that? Yes, it has taken me a while. I used to be one of those like, we're there for 7 days, so I'll take 7 daytime outfits and 7 evening outfits, and then a spare one in case it's cold, and a spare one in case I spill something. And I'd be the just in case person that quickly like chucks everything in before I do up the bag. And now I've got it down to a T. I think because we've done a lot of city breaks, like one of our recent trips was like Barcelona to Rome to Lisbon, and we didn't want to have to keep checking in bags. So we wanted to pack light, but we also wanted to make sure that we had enough in case things got messy. But I would just say, you can always wash things, whether it's finding a laundrette or hand washing, and you can always buy things as well. Like, unless you're going to a safari in the middle of the jungle, you can buy nappies, you can buy wipes. It might be slightly more expensive, but if it means not having like a really heavy suitcase and having to pay, like I would rather have to pay £3 or £4 extra for nappies abroad than a £40 charge because I've gone too far over on my weight limit on with the suitcase. Hello! Yeah, just kind of practice and just go with the idea in your head that you will be able to buy things, and you don't need that red dress. If you don't wear it on this holiday, it's fine, you can wear it on the next holiday. It's just an excuse to book another holiday. Nicola90X, where is an ideal first holiday abroad with a little one around Jasper's age? From experience, I think that the holiday village is perfect. We've been to the holiday village in Rhodes, Mallorca and Costa del Sol. They've got really good kids clubs. They all have like a really good splash pool. You get a range of prices as well. So for example, the Rhodes one is 5-star. You get like swim up rooms and stuff, so that's kind of at the higher end, but you get really reasonable ones as well, like the Ibiza one and the Costa del Sol one. They were less expensive. One of them had a water park, and yeah, they're just brilliant. It's a really good kind of brand to go with. I've never worked with them. We just went to one, loved it, tried another one, loved it, tried another one. So yeah, I would definitely recommend them. But places like Mallorca, it's a really short flight. The weather's always really nice. It's a beautiful island. We've been back there. I think we've been with the boys twice, and then me and Pete have been a couple of times on our own. So I'd recommend that as a first destination. Short flight, you can fly there from most airports. The island is very small, so your transfer time's never going to be too long, and the weather's always nice and manageable. It's never like too hot for kids, and you're kind of guaranteed to have sunshine from like March onwards. Zoe Palmer, best buggy / stroller for travelling. So we have got the Graco Featherweight, which is the lightest stroller in the UK. It's amazing. I could swing it around my head. It is so light. You can fold it with one hand. It's got a strap so you can carry it over your shoulder. Perfect for like through the airport, around by the pool and stuff like that. It's not that sturdy, so if you're going to be going on lots of like treks and things, then it may not be the best, but for just like a typical round the pool holiday, it's really good, and it's got like a decent sized basket underneath. I would say get one that folds in one because it's more peace of mind. Like if you are going to check it in, or if you do take it up to the airplane, they only have to put one tag on it, and it's only one thing to wait for to come round the belt with your luggage. Okay, and the last one, the little puffin, asked, how does it work taking your pram with you instead of a collapsible buggy? So when I do take the pram with me, literally when you check your luggage in, you just say that you want to take your pram to the gate, and they put a tag on it. Sometimes they'll put a tag on it there when you check your bags in, sometimes they'll do it when you actually start boarding. You can take it all the way up to the door of the aeroplane. Sometimes you have to leave it where you show your passport, and then you get on the flight, and then when you come out, I have heard that you can get a special tag on it for it to meet you at the door of the plane, but whenever I've asked, they've always said no. I think it's if maybe you've got like 3 kids and you're on your own and you really need it, but if not, it just comes out with your baggage. Sometimes it comes out on the same belt as your suitcase, sometimes it comes out in a separate bit, which is for buggies and larger shaped luggages, so things like maybe guitars or golf clubs and stuff like that. So when you do go out to get your luggage, and ask someone, because we've been waiting for ages before, and someone was like, no, buggies come out the other end. But yeah, I always take my pushchair to the plane with me, because I don't want to be walking around duty-free or chasing Jensen around duty-free for 2 hours. And it means they can nap as well if they're tired. And it's somewhere to keep your bags. Another option as well is I think it's called the yo-yo. So I mentioned the lightest stroller in the world, which is what I've got, but the yo-yo is the most compact, but it's actually small enough to fit in the overhead. We store our pram in 2 bits, so do you separate them when they go into the hold? I would be worried about one getting lost. If it can't fold down into 1 bit, then what you do is you tell them that it folds in 2. I've always been asked how many pieces it goes into, but they will just put a separate tag on each piece, and then again you can either check it in as 2 pieces or take it to the door of the plane and it will come around the carousel as 2 pieces. You can get bags that protect them, because we made the mistake of flying with our Bugaboo when we first got it, and Jasper was like 3 months old, and it got a split in the foam on the handle. I think they now do like leatherette handles, so that kind of thing wouldn't happen. But yeah, maybe have a look on Amazon or try and link one, like a buggy bag. Okay, there's one more question by Anna Colgate, which is everything and anything related to travelling with a little one. Hopefully I've answered kind of most of what your questions would be, but I've also written a blog post which is I don't know how many, but it's my top tips on travelling with kids. I'm going to kind of break it up into bits, so top tips on flying with kids, top tips on like city breaks with kids, top tips on packing light with kids, like stuff like that. So make sure that you follow my blog, which is lilypodandsweetpea.com. Well, that's it. I hope you liked this video and you found it useful. If you have any more questions, then please do pop them below in the comments and I'll answer them. Definitely head over and check out my blog post as well and my Instagram, because I often give like tips and stuff on traveling there. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye!